Welcome everyone to Eric. Remind me what is our show called?
The Barely Friends
The
podcast.
Barely Friends podcast. Thank you for reminding me, Eric. My name's Isaiah,
My name's Eric.
and we're two friends, barely, but friends, talking about sports, mainly basketball, NBA, Celtics. Dabble into a little other things. We're gonna dabble into a lot of other sectors of sports, but mainly basketball because the playoffs are ahead. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, we have a couple of announcements we want to share about our lives. I'll start, Eric. The main part in my life that I want to share is nothing deep. I'm just being dramatic as usual. But I have a rec basketball league, and I've been talking about that a little bit. And we had a momentous win. Thank you. Absolutely insane win, down 16 points in the half, and came back, won 61-60, so very tight, and essentially in a buzzer beater. And let me show you a little bit of what happened in this buzzer beater. Let me show you right here. Yeah, we got a little footage. Let me show you guys right here. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that, but so
Yep.
is there any player that I'll do one more time. I'll show it one more time here. For those who may have missed that. But Eric, is that look any is there a player that comes to mind when you see either me, my pass, or shooter?
I see yellow shirt, but I see a good assist. So
Okay.
It kind of, I think the passer really set up that player for the buzzer beater.
Thank you. But yeah, it's been fun. I had a game this past week too. We lost by like 10 or 12. But the last time we played this particular team, we lost by 40. So I would say
that's like beating the Thunder for you.
Exactly. So it was a better game. It's a moral victory for us. So, but yeah, good. Next week is the playoffs. Lands on Easter. Probably won't go, to be honest. But we'll see. Eric, you wanna shout out someone?
Yes, I want to shout out my pal Matur Maker.
Okay.
So back when I was writing for the Rockets, 2020, he's actually my first player interview.
Oh wow!
And I recently reconnected with him on social media.
Yep.
And I followed his career. So he's been playing overseas. He actually won a championship with the Sydney Kings in 2022.
Okay.
So shouts to him. He's been doing a lot of good things out the court. He's playing throughout Europe and Asia. So just a lot of good stuff on the court, and maybe come for summer league, or we'll see what his career brings. But he's been doing some good stuff.
Well, that's pretty sweet. That's awesome that you connected, and that being your first interview ever. So that's cool, and I hope he's gonna do well in his basketball career, of course. That's awesome. That's pretty sweet. All right, you want to get into our stuff? Want to get into our main stuff?
Sounds good.
All right, well, guys, we got some breaking news, and we got a lot of people fired. a lot of people are fired. Right. Let's start with Mike Budenholzer. Okay, coach of the Phoenix Suns. He's done. Okay, kaput. This team has had a big three: Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and they produced nothing. Last time Kevin Durant was on a big three, if you're into basketball, NBA, Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving, yes. Disaster. Not the same level, of course, but still disaster. And so, I don't believe this is Budenholzer's. I think this is probably a scapegoat move. But I don't know where this leaves the Suns right now.
I mean, I remember Mike Budenholzer from the Bucks days, and he won a championship with the Bucks, of course, like about 3 or so years ago.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, he also won a championship with the Golden State Warriors. So I would say it's mostly, I don't really know where I put the blame, to be honest, but Kevin Durant, he could have stayed with the Warriors and he could have really coasted for the rest of his career. Yep. But he chose to go to the Nets, which didn't work out, and then the Suns, which I don't really know what's not working. Like, I don't know the dynamics of it, but it looks on paper like it should work out.
Sure. Do you think KD moves on?
I think he's done.
You think he's done?
No.
Oh, he's done with the Suns.
If I was KD, like if I was KD,
yeah,
I would say I'm going back home to the Thunder, or I would go to the Rockets. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I recommended that like maybe a season or two ago, when kind of that whole trade with SGA and Paul George, I believe that was the trade, was happening. I think at this point though, you gotta let the Thunder be the Thunder. The number one seed in the West this year out of a loaded West. I think if you add Kevin Durant, like it would obviously be like a super team, but like the dynamics culturally, I think, shift if he comes into the locker room and stuff. So I don't know. I saw a post about the Celtics picking him up, and I don't want that. I don't want Katie. That has passed. Okay, I don't want that.
Yeah.
So
We'd have to give up Jaylen Brown, I think.
yeah,
And it just makes no sense to do it.
right, or a ton of other pieces, and we're good right now. We're good. So there's one firing. Second firing, David Griffin, general manager of the Pelicans, done. Eric, writing for the Pelicans. How does that feel?
I'm gonna be honest. The Pelicans this season have been, to sum it up, a disappointment.
Yeah, yeah.
And starting with Zion Williamson, he's an amazing player on the court, but then when he's off the court, like he's just gone. So you get no consistency from him. He's either amazing, like this super amazing superstar player who's like top 10 in the league in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then he's just out for like 40 games. And then you have CJ McCollum, you have Trey Murphy the third, you had Brandon Ingram. And I think like that starting lineup, those five would have been amazing playing together. But the issue is they just had no time on the court to work together. And, not being able to gel as a team, of course, is a part of basketball that needs to happen. Like, you need team chemistry. So I don't know if I necessarily blame Griffin for this. I just feel like the team didn't gel. And he's made the right moves as a manager to get them to have a team that could win. So really the only thing the executive can do now is see what they do with Zion. But in my opinion, I think he did his job.
Yeah, I think you look at the talent he's required. Getting Brandon Ingram was huge. I don't think. I mean, I don't know when Zion Williamson was drafted, and I don't know when the Pelicans became, the New Orleans Pelicans, started their kind of new franchise. But I mean, things were looking brighter than they were. But before that aspect, so I agree. I don't think it's necessarily Griffin's fault. I think it's hard to put blame on. I mean, I guess if you put it on the players, like them not taking care of themselves, but that's also hard, except for Zion Williamson. Maybe you could put the blame on that for Zion Williamson.
The airplane incident.
Yeah, right. You gotta look back at history and timeline for Zion Williamson. But yeah, I think could be also a scapegoat move, but maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe they needed a fresh start, and it started with Griffin. But I don't know. Yeah, tough one there.
Yeah, I guess if I were to make a choice, my pick would be Danny Ainge for general manager.
Oh, that would be pretty huge.
Yeah.
And that would get a lot of attention, which as a market, I don't think New Orleans gets a lot for basketball. So that might be good. Might have to write about that. Did you already write about that or no?
Not yet.
Okay, you're gonna have to write about that. You have to write about that. Last firing. I promise. Last firing. But a big one. Maybe the biggest one, arguably. Michael Malone, coach of the Denver Nuggets, fired. Now, at first glance, at least for me, I was like, this is a really crazy firing. They weren't as good as, they've been in the past, but still a fourth or fifth seed. But nonetheless, lowered. They didn't meet their expectations. But still, it's like, Michael Malone is a pretty darn good coach. Then I was looking at some posts and looking at some articles, and there seemed to be stuff in the locker room that was not so good. Whether it was maybe, loving Russell Westbrook a little too much, Michael Malone, or just it being a more toxic environment, not being an enjoyable place to play basketball. I've seen ESPN articles about that. So, but still a pretty crazy 4 or like a couple of weeks to a week from the playoffs and just done. So,
yeah. Do you recall what seed they are right now?
4 or 5, because they're playing the Clippers and they're a 4 or 5. So it's.
But yeah, the thing is, like 1 and 2 in the West, like they're far above like 3, of course. But then 3 to like 6 is just a big bunch of teams. So yeah. I would say even the Nuggets won their last game and maybe got in 3rd place. Like I consider that a win in my books. Like it's not first, but
yeah,
I don't think it's worth a firing. Like you said, the only reason would be like team chemistry or like dynamics in the locker room. Maybe he was unpleasant to work for under.
Yeah.
I know there was an incident with Russell Westbrook where he cost the team like 2 major plays, which cost him the game.
Yeah.
I know that was just one game, but
right.
I don't know. Maybe there's definitely some friction somewhere.
Yeah, I have a quote here just from a team source because they wanted to be anonymous, and it just says everyone in the organization was miserable. So obviously that's not good. Not good. And it seemed like the general manager or whoever fired Malone said this was like in the making, like this was going to happen. So just seems a little odd that it happened. Why, if like it was going to happen, why not maybe a little earlier, give some time before, a big playoff game. But I mean, you got Jokic, who also big deal, just averages a triple double in the regular season, third player to ever do that in NBA history. So Jokic, again, just we've been talking about him now for the last couple of weeks because he's just one of the best NBA players and will go down as one of the better players in NBA history. We had, and I don't know if we were going to do this later, but if we want to bring it up now, or you want to do this?
Yeah, I didn't put it in my mailbag, so if you want to do it now, it's
okay.
fine.
I think it'd be good. There's a post about Carmelo Anthony retiring his jersey or Jokic. I mean, obviously, it seemed because they're the same number correct?
15, yeah.
Right, the number's 15. So the question is, whose jersey is going to get retired? Which number 15 would you retire? Eric, which number 15 would you retire?
I would pick, in my opinion, I'd pick Jokic.
Okay.
Yep. And the reason why is because out of the two players, like even right now, I think he's like, what, 30 something, 31, 32?
Mm-hmm.
But his career has already eclipsed Carmelo Anthony's, in my opinion. Carmelo Anthony's going to be in the Hall of Fame, no doubt. But if you just look at them side by side and look at the statistics and the awards and all that, Jokic just clears them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So they're both amazing players, but he just takes the edge. And it's one of those like situations that really doesn't happen in history, but it's happening now.
Yeah, we were younglings, right, when Carmelo was on the Nuggets, so we don't really know. We know him more on the Knicks. I can't recall though. I mean, obviously he was super impactful and like as a rookie, he had an amazing career, or an amazing rookie year. But Jokic is putting up insane numbers as a center. He's doing things that no other center has done. I'm probably going to lean on Jokic too. But again, like you said, Carmelo deserves to be Hall of Famer, and he's going to get recognition, and he deserves recognition as a Nugget. But if the Joker gets a ring, I mean, then it's it. Because he hasn't won a ring yet.
Jokic, he won.
Or did he win a ring?
He did.
Wait, he did win, right?
Yeah. I think it was over the Heat, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It was
right.
It was one of those series like everyone's kind of.
Oh, that's right. Right. Yeah, that's why I forgot. It was like,
it was the Heat.
Right. But yeah, then it's probably solid then. I forgot about that ring. So yeah, Joker's amazing. You decide, Jokic or Carmelo. Moving on. Still in breaking news, we're gonna switch over to different sports right here. Starting with golf. We don't talk about golf often, but a huge thing happened. The Masters, massive golf tournament. Rory McIlroy won the Masters, and he completed a career Grand Slam, which means he won all of the major tournaments in golf, which is maybe only the 6th, 7th person to ever do that. So huge props to you, Rory. But a huge, like my brother wanted me to record the session because he couldn't watch it live, and I was watching it live, and I was like, this is like, I'm not a big Roy fan, but he chokes. He's a little bit of a choker, I will say, and he was choking at the end, like big time. He had some great shots, but like was not finishing it. Had to go into a playoff, which means he just played against another golfer, and finished off there. But I was like, if he doesn't win this one, like he's the ultimate golf choker. But he ended up winning. It was amazing. So
yeah, I did see the graphic, and it was like literally like this, like Rory and the other guy.
Yeah,
and he was ahead by like I think like 10 or 9, whatever you call it, like strokes or points. And like you said, he's a choker sometimes.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree. I'm sure Ty enjoyed that moment. I'm sure you enjoyed that moment.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed seeing him win that because he's one of the legends, and he finally completed that Grand Slam.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see live.
It was good. Ty was very happy. He did not expect to see this in his lifetime. And he did, so he was very happy. Moving on. Football. All right, we're going to go golf, football, okay? Switch it back. Actually, then we're going back to NBA real quick. But NFL draft is this week, this Thursday. And we are Patriots fans, of course. So we're looking forward. We have the number 4 pick. We need a lot of things. We need a lot of different types of players. But anyone you specifically want, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, offensive lineman, Shador Sanders. I don't know. You want anyone in particular?
Yeah, I know that in NCAA, like sometimes the one who wins a Heisman doesn't end up being the best in the NFL. Like it's not necessarily guaranteed.
Sure.
But if I were to pick, I would say that the Patriots have a lot of depth they need. So I'd pick Travis Hunter.
Okay.
He just makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, I'm going Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter because I think both of them could be an amazing talent and could transform any given team. Even though the probably the biggest need for the Patriots is an offensive lineman, but you have one of those players there. I think it's a go. I think it's a go-to. So, but tune into the NFL draft this Thursday. I will be at a new pub in Dartmouth. Not promoting it, but tailgate. I think it might be just called tailgate. I forget. Check it out. But I'll be there to watch the draft. So tune in. Tune in. Back to NBA jersey. Top selling jerseys. Eric, you want to just take on this because I think you had this. Wanted to share. So
All right, so the NBA just announced their second half season best selling jerseys, and I'm gonna go through the top five really quick. So we've got at number one. Actually, I'll do it reverse, so it's suspense.
Mhm.
But number five is Jalen Brunson, Knicks. Number four, Jason Tatum, Celtics. Three, LeBron James, Lakers. Two, Steph Curry, Warriors. And number one, Luka Doncic, Lakers. And now this is actually the first time since 2013 that neither LeBron James or Steph Curry's been the leader in jersey sales. So what's your take on this, Isaiah?
I mean, I think it makes sense. I mean, Luka Doncic has probably been top 5 since he's been in the league, right? So, I think, it's not too surprising that he's taking the top. And then you add on that he's a Laker. I mean, then it's like the perfect storm for people wanting to buy the jersey. I mean, people are just going to see, people who just have a Lakers hat, they're not even a basketball fan, but they see Luka Doncic and they know he's just an amazing player. They're just going to buy his jersey, right? Or really want it. So, not super surprising. Steph, LeBron, great players, obviously, but they are, getting to their age of retirement. So, they're a little, they're getting old. They're getting old, but obviously they're still amazing. And it makes sense. The only thing I'll say is, it's kind of no knock on Jalen Brunson, but I guess I am. I feel like Jokic has to be up. I feel like Jokic has to be top 5 jersey sale. I don't know. That's just me. What he's done this season, and all the talk about the Nuggets. So
Yeah, it's just he's one of those players that goes under the radar.
right,
Like you usually don't see many like Tim Duncan jerseys, but it definitely does. As far as popularity goes, like Jokic should be up there.
for sure,
Yeah.
sure. So that's all. Jalen Brunson. Hey, props to you. All right, good for you.
It's a face in New York.
Yeah, I mean, y'all haven't beat the Celtics or the Cavaliers. Y'all have literally not beaten us in the regular season, so it's not gonna be a problem. But you deserve the jersey.
Yeah, and the thing too is when Doncic got traded to the Lakers.
Yeah,
obviously a lot of fans are like, "Oh wow, that's awesome," and then they just buy.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
See what it looks like next
And
year.
if those jerseys get sold and he signs one of those jerseys, we're gonna make money.
Got to send it to the Bailey.
Yeah, exactly. Please do that. All right. We're gonna head into our segment, our Ball is Life segment, where we're talking about the NBA, Celtics, and what is happening in the news. Playoffs are in the news, but first, before the playoffs, I want to congratulate both Florida University and UConn in the NCAA tournament for winning their respective tournaments. Congratulations! Both amazing games. They were in different ways. Florida and Houston was a tight game. Houston was up like double digits, I think, at halftime. Florida came back to win. UConn just destroyed South Carolina, almost won by 40, which would have been way worse than my 40-point loss, okay? Because it's like pretty much professional. Paige Beckers is amazing, and we'll get to her later. But college basketball is going to be really good moving forward, and just showed in this tournament. So
yeah, I picked UConn women's for the beginning of the tournament.
Yeah,
like that was my bracket essentially.
Yeah,
so it was amazing to see this run happening in real time.
Yeah,
I picked Notre Dame for the other half, and they got out by TCU. So that half of the bracket, I was happy to see that. And then Duke, I picked for men's. So obviously they had that very intense game with Houston.
Yeah.
So I was like, they blew it.
Yeah, they did a little bit. That was tough. I was kind of rooting for. Well, no, I was kind of rooting for Duke at the time. Just wanted to see a better game, even though that final was amazing between Florida and Houston. But yeah, tough loss. But I'm sure Cooper will learn a lot and will be really good in the NBA now because of that. So, speaking of NBA, playoffs have arrived pretty much. The play-in tournament is actually starting tonight, which is which tonight is the Monday of when it will be recorded, which is going to be uploaded either Thursday or Friday this week. But it is starting today and will end, I think, the end of this week. But a lot of playoffs, actually. We have the matchups here. So let's just do the play-in first. In the West, we have the 9-10 seed, the 9 seed, which is the Kings, versus the Mavericks and 10 seed. And in the West, we have the 7 seed Warriors, 8 seed Grizzlies. In the East, we have the 9 seed, actually, because of my the Bulls. There we go. The black and white. I can't see the logos versus the Heat. We're 10, and then 7, 8 seed 7 is the Magic, 8 seed Hawks, and then the main 6 is already top 6 are here. In the West, the 4 seed Nuggets play against the 5th seed Clippers, and the 3 seed Lakers play against the 6 seed Timberwolves. The number 1 seed Oklahoma City and number 2 Rockets will face respective 8th and 7th seed, depending on the play-in tournament. And in the East, we have 4th seed Pacers against the 5th seed Bucks, and the 3 seed Knicks against the 6th seed Pistons. Number 1 seed Cavaliers and number 2 Knicks will play those seeds respectively coming out of the play-in tournament. Some of these matches are going to be very interesting. Some of these matchups to me are not going to be very interesting. First play-in tournament. Anything jump out to you? Anything jump out to you in this question?
Yeah. I don't know if you know I know the Bulls, they traded away Zach LaVine. Do you know if they have a new top star or?
Maybe Josh Giddey right now. And I know we talked about it. Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
But since that buzzer beat against the Lakers, I think he's been a good player. He's been a good player.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think he's maybe going to be the face. He's pretty young, so but other than that, I don't really know anyone else.
No.
Yeah.
And I know that, the Bulls traded away Levine, the Heat traded away Jimmy Butler. The Magic don't honestly have like a big superstar player, which they don't need, but
Well, Ben Carroll. Let's not sleep on Ben
Oh,
Carroll, okay?
yep.
Let's not let's sleep on Ben Carroll.
and the Hawks got Trey Young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But of those 4, I don't think really any of those Eastern teams will make an impact in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I kind of think it's just kind of a wash, to be honest.
Sure.
But then you look at the West, and the Grizzlies, for some reason, they were at number 2, and then they dipped down to play-in tournament.
Yeah, I may know why. I will talk about that later. I may know why. Okay, they did got a secret.
And then Mavericks, we know what happened with them. They were doing all right, and then they lost Doncic, and they just like stood in the mix. So they're like very borderline being out. Kings had a really good season recently. I think that they could, especially having Levine and having Sabonis, all those guys, could beat the Mavericks and could either beat the Warriors or Grizzlies. So I think you just wipe out Mavericks, and any of those 3 teams I think could make first round of the playoffs for sure, and maybe even possibly second round.
Yeah, I think the main thing for me, I mean, again, the Grizzlies being 8, that's a crazy drop. Yeah, I think last time I saw it was 3 seed. I don't know how they dropped that far. But the Warriors being 7 is interesting because, as we will discuss a little later as well, I thought they could be a little dangerous for the Celtics. I'll get to that later. But now that being in the play-in tournament, I mean, that was they played the Clippers the last game, and that determined essentially whether they were going to be in the play-in tournament or not. And them losing is pretty big. Even if they win this game, they'll play the Rockets. If they lose, first of all, I mean, they would, I would hope that they would beat the Kings or the Mavericks. But they can't go up against the Thunder. They'll be done. I think they'll be done. Okay, first round, I think it'd be max of 5 games. I don't want to say sweep, but I think they'll be done quick. But I think getting into they would have played the Lakers instead, which would have, I think, suited them a little more. The Rockets are very good. They're very good. But I think they'll pose some matchup problems too. So, but that's probably the biggest surprise for me. And then when we get to the regular matchups that are already set in 4th, 3 6 seeds and the 4 5th seeds, anything there?
Of the ones that are already set, I think Pacers and Bucks are a decent mid-level matchup. Pistons are a surprise, but it's pleasant to see them turn it around from last season, really come in here and have this matchup with the Knicks. So it'll be cool to see if they put up a challenge, if they compete. Um, Celtics, we don't know their opponent yet.
No, we don't.
But honestly, Celtics, I feel like should quite easily make it to the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the West, Lakers and Timberwolves. I think it go either way, to be honest. Nuggets and Clippers, you said. I would say Nuggets should win that, but I could see an argument for Clippers winning that.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I think Pacers and Bucks have a low key rivalry. I don't know if it started last year or something, but I
Oh, with the
remember
game
that.
ball.
Yeah, the game ball thing. So that'll be interesting. But I like the Bucks being at fifth seed is a little surprising, just because with Giannis and he's been really good. I think he's been under the radar, but he's been really good this year. Just overall, the Bucks have not been good. Watch out for the Pistons. They could pose as a sleeper for the Knicks. They have been again up and coming, and the Knicks have been good. Again, they're a 3 seed, but they've had some ups and downs. So watch out for the Pistons. Lakers and Timberwolves is probably going to be the best first round series, I would say. Watching, of course, my favorite sports show, First Take, First Take, ESPN First Take. They talk about a lot of the matchup, and I mean, you have Luka, LeBron, Anthony Edwards, and then Mr. COVID, Rudy Gobert. As a as an add on there, but that's going to be really good. And then Nuggets Clippers is going to be, I think, a really good one as well. So I think there can be some good first round matchups and a very entertaining first round playoffs. So
Oh yeah, some years you look at the playoffs and it's first round's kind of 4-4-4 and just a quick sweep.
right,
But I think this one you can see a lot of like game sixes or even game sevens.
sure, yeah, it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a good one. So we'll see how everything turns out. Let me jump to the Celtics real quick here, and I posed a question to Eric. Which team we think would be the scariest out in the West before the playoffs were kind of set in the plan. I had the Warriors. Okay. It's not because I think the Warriors are more talented than the Celtics. They have better players. We have more talent than most of the league, if not all the league. It's the mental, okay? It's the trauma that not just the Warriors have had on the Celtics because they beat them in the finals not too long ago, but that Jimmy Butler has had, okay, on the Celtics. And now both of them combined, I'm not saying they would lose the final series. I would probably have them. I think it's going to be pretty close if that got there. I don't think it's going to get there now because Warriors in the play-in, and they're going to have a tougher road to get there than just being a 6 seed. But at the time, I thought it was the Warriors. But now I'm going to lean on your answer, from the spoil it, is the Thunder. So if you want to explain why you have the Thunder, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the Thunder first in the West, first record in the NBA. The Celtics have yet to beat the Thunder this season, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
So they just really haven't been able to match up against them. And I remember watching one game on ESPN with the Celtics and Thunder. And the Celtics, all they did was they keep trying to shoot as many threes as possible. Not all of those shots went in. The Thunder played their usual game. And, by the fourth quarter, Thunder were leading and looked pretty convincing. So I just think the Celtics aren't prepared to face the Thunder yet. And Joe Mazzulla is still very set on the three-point game, which has worked for the Warriors, has worked for the Celtics last year. But I think for the Thunder, it's going to take some extra ingredients to make that happen.
For sure. It's gonna be tough. The Thunder's gonna be really tough if we play them. Yeah, they're just a really good team. SGA has been MVP like this whole season. Chet Holmgren, fantastic forward. It's gonna be really good. It's gonna be a really good series if that happens, and a scary one too. Very nerve-wracking series.
Oh, didn't you say something earlier about Jaylen Brown's knee?
I did. He got like some painkiller injections in the knee. I don't think it's too serious though. So I think he's gonna be good to go. I think they just wanted to be safe, precautious, coming into the playoffs. But nothing to worry, Celtics fans. Nothing to worry from my understanding. I'm not a doctor, but I trust whoever's evaluating Jaylen Brown and getting those injections. And the article I read, it should be good.
Yeah,
So
I guess out of the starting lineup, we have Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, White, and Holiday.
Yeah.
And of course, the bench, we have Pritchard, Horford. You can argue Cornette, Kata, like all those. Yeah. But at one point, do you get worried about this playoff run for the Celtics? Like, who has to go out for you to get worried?
I mean, this is going to be like a very straightforward, one answer I could have. is if Tatum and Brown both go out. Obviously, then I don't think maybe we're kind of screwed, right? Maybe we're kind of screwed. But if it's like a combination of Jaylen Brown and Derek White, or Tatum and Jrue Holiday, or Derek White, like some kind of combination like that, if we have 2 out of our 5 out for a significant amount of time, I would say cause for concern. Even though I think Pritchard could pick up the slack, or Horford has just that intensity that he can just get the crowd going and get his team going. But I would say, yeah, if you were to pick 2 out of the 5 starting lineups, and it was like a 7-game series and they were out like 3-4 games, I'd be worried. But hopefully they stay healthy. So, that is the playoffs. Play-in again starts tonight. We'll go throughout this week. But transitioning into the WNBA. The WNBA draft happened last night, Monday. We're big Caitlin Clark fans. We're big. Are we big Angel Reese fans? Are we big Angel Reese fans? I don't know. Debatable. I'm not. I gotta. Yeah, sorry. Side note. We have the Reese's Puffs box, and I don't eat Reese's Puffs. My mom does because she likes peanut butter, and I do too, but I don't like Reese's Puffs. Anyway, Angel Reese is there because Reese and all that stuff. But I see her every time, like, man, like, I gotta think about her dumb comment every time I see that box.
It's just a reminder.
I'm just like, man, why'd you say that, Angel? Keep that close quarters. Anyway, we got a new favorite, I would say, coming into the WNBA. Paige Beckers. She got drafted number 1 overall by the Dallas Wings. She's gonna lead that class for sure, no question. How much impact is Paige gonna have, you think, in the WNBA? Is it gonna be Caitlin Clark-esque? Or just impactful in general. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I think that a lot of WNBA draft classes have these amazing generational talents, and with Caitlin Clark, she really put a surge into women's basketball. And now, just even talking about the city of Dallas, like Paige Beckers is going to be like not the hometown, but she's going to be the big superstar, the big hero for this city, who just lost Luka Doncic, who has the Dallas Cowboys. They really don't have much to root for these days. So Paige Beckers really is going to be like the staple of this area, and something that they can all be proud of and really take pride into this. So, yeah.
Sorry, you got me laughing over here. You mentioned the Cowboys. Always got me laughing about the Cowboys, and then the Luka thing. I got a friend. Shout out to Chloe. She's from Dallas, and she was we were all watching Super Bowl, all of our friends, and she had her Dallas Cowboys jersey on for I don't know what reason. They weren't in the Super Bowl. They haven't been in 13 years or so. I don't know. No, actually longer than 30 years. I don't know. So like that. But yeah, Dallas has been hit hard sports wise, and I think it's time that they have some success pretty soon. And I think Paige Beckers going to the Wings could be a huge momentum swing. They gotta have a climb, right? They get the number 1 pick for a reason, because they haven't been good. And you got the Las Vegas Aces, the up and coming Indiana Fever with Caitlin Clark. So we got a lot of teams that they gotta surpass. But with Paige Beckers, they can do it. It's possible. So
yeah, I feel like if Paige Beckers or Caitlin Clark came to play at, I think they're still playing at Mohegan Sun next season, but if they came to play the Connecticut Suns, I would go to watch a game. That'd be really cool. Just, of course, tickets need to be like within a reasonable range. But I think it'd be cool to see like a superstar from the WNBA play against a local team. I feel like the Suns really don't have like a big superstar right now, which is fine. They still have been very successful as a team.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd really like to see get that Clark or someone like that. I think I'm trying to think of Juju Watkins. She's coming up in the draft like soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they'll be bad enough to get Juju. I mean, hopefully not. I hope they're good. But yeah, they would need a star. But they've been good. I watch them. Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun. I'll be there. TD Garden. I forget when. I think sometime in June. I'll be there. Watch them up close. So it's gonna be a fun one. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Should we slip in our guest mailbag question?
Oh, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's switch it up to let's see the guest mailbag question. We're gonna have a quick transition here to the mailbag. What is it, and Who's it from?
Yes. So this question is actually from my father.
Whoa, your father.
My dad.
Okay. Gary, shout out to Gary.
Yep. So his question is, and it's about Sedona Prince. So before I actually ask the question, I'll give a little background on who this is.
Yeah.
So in the WNBA draft, Sedona Prince entered her name. She's a 6'7" center from TCU. And prior to the draft, I want to say this was maybe sometime last year or even earlier this season, she is projected to go top 10.
Okay.
And now I forgot how many picks. I think it's like 30, 40, 50 picks in the draft, but she went undrafted. She wasn't selected.
Okay.
Now, once again, she's a top 10 prospect, pretty tall, 6'7", and TCU good school. The reason why she may have not been drafted is likely because she's facing domestic assault charges. No button press. But his question is, should she be blackballed from the league?
Just because of the domestic assault, like that's the main thing, right? Is the reason why?
Yeah, off the top of my head, I really don't have the notes down for the exact terms of the case, but it is pretty like direct. It may have been a girlfriend she has that she's been violent towards. I know that's been an issue in different sports leagues. There was a famous case in the NFL a couple years ago. I know NBA also with Kevin Porter Jr. But I guess, how would you treat the situation in the WNBA of like this player who's facing this charge and I think is guilty of it?
Yeah, it's tough. Again, I don't want to speak too much on it just because I don't have all the info. This is actually probably the first time I've heard of the story. So I don't want to go into too much. But if I was gonna say, if she was just accused, and it wasn't, if she wasn't guilty officially, then I would tread with caution, right? Tread with caution, like not necessarily kick her off the team or anything like that, but just like get all the info and all that. But if she's accused guilty, which is the case, right? It seems like she's guilty.
We're not pretty sure, but okay. I'm not positive.
Let's say she is guilty. She's not promoting that. But if she is guilty, I mean, then I would assume she would serve time, or if it, they throw that out and it's just a fine or something. I don't know. Then I think the league, or at least the team, has to do something there. Whether it's a suspension, a pretty hard suspension, because that's obviously a significant crime. So, blackballed is an interesting. I don't know if it would be blackballing in this case, just because, again, this is a serious offense, right? And so, I think there are going to have to be consequences made, especially if she's guilty. So, that's my take. Again, don't have much info, or anything like that. But, yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, I would say, of course, it's the court's job to give the proceedings and to like take care of the situation, and also it's the employer, their right or their idea to go with them or not go with them. But I think you have to evaluate her as a person, like on a case-to-case basis. Because, like I said, unfortunately, this is a problem throughout different leagues. So I'd really need to get the full information and really, analyze it as a team, and then make a judgment based on her case specifically. Because unfortunately, it does happen throughout different sports leagues, and it shouldn't happen, but it does, and you just gotta be cautious and proceed with caution.
For sure. So, again, she's a human, so hoping everything goes well, and obviously to the person who was assaulted, obviously hoping they are okay too, and all this. So, yeah, but good question, Gary. Appreciate all questions again, coming from whoever and wherever around the world. Okay, I'm not usually gonna say from South Coast, Mass, from the world. Okay, appreciate it all. WrestleMania. All right, let's move on to some WrestleMania talk. It is going to be WrestleMania 41 this Sunday, Easter. There's two big matchups. Eric, I'm going to kind of have you take it away because I love me some WWE. I've watched it since being a kid. Since maybe people still think I'm a kid, but since being a kid. Um, but there are two main matchups that I kind of want to highlight, but you can highlight whatever else is interesting. Two main events. Who's facing for championships? Who are they? And yeah, what's going down?
Yeah. So WrestleMania is a 2-night event. I'm going to start with night one. The main event is going to be Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. And it's a big event for the reason that Roman Reigns is continuing. I think he has a record for most WrestleMania main events.
Oh, okay.
And he's a big dog.
Yeah, he is.
And then we got Seth Rollins, who is the architect, big member of the Shield back in the day.
Oh my gosh, the Shield.
And then you got CM Punk. And I remember like 10 or so years ago, his big dream was he wanted to main event WrestleMania. So it looks like he's going to get his wish. And I haven't really been following the storyline too much, but it looks like Paul Heyman is involved. Like he used to manage Reigns and CM Punk, and so Rollins is in the mix somewhere. So they might be fighting for custody over Paul Heyman.
Oh gosh, that's interesting. I don't know who would want that, but
So what's your take on that match so far?
Yeah, I saw a clip. I don't know. If this was Raw because yesterday was Raw, right? It must have been because it was a recent, like within 16 hours of it being uploaded, and I guess it seemed like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns were going to be buddy. We're going to be cool. Maybe the Shield was going to be back. I don't know. But then he portrayed him. He took him out. He may have speared him. I forget what he did, but took him out, and then he shoved Paul Heyman down. He pushed him and shoved him down. And now I mean, obviously because the whole thing, right? Like he went on CM Punk's side, with like him. CM Punk wanted Paul Heyman, to be on his ringside during WrestleMania, and so now it seems like they're no good, even though Paul Heyman was saying tribal chief, all that stuff. But it's very interesting. I don't know. Like I I enjoy all these guys, all these three guys. Just as WWE athletes, they're very entertaining. So I think it's gonna be a very fun match to watch. Is it like a no disqualification or is it just a regular like triple threat? I don't know if you know.
Honestly, I haven't heard, but I could see an argument for being some kind of stipulation.
Yeah, because I wish fire around the ring. Table ladders. I don't care. They bring it all. Bring it all.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be a really good one. But maybe there might be a better one with this other main event.
Oh yeah, night two.
Yeah.
We got Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the WWE Championship.
And
this time we got the face of the company, Cody Rhodes, current gen, just beat Roman Reigns last year in that epic main event, versus, bad guy John Cena now. It's getting real. So between those two, what is your analysis on this? And then especially we have The Rock, he might show up.
Right,
Buddy might show up. We'll see.
Yeah, again, you compare it to last year's WrestleMania, you compare it to that last year main event. I can't imagine it's going to be anything close to that. But I know, watching WWE for a long time, that they're going to make it a very good match. Okay, and they've like the lead up to this being John Cena's last hurrah, and him making him a villain. It's gonna be very good. Okay, it's gonna be very good. The Rock is definitely gonna be there. He's gonna, I don't know, increase John Cena's soul or something because he has a soul, or I don't know what the heck that's all about. But it's gonna be good. I'm sure there'll be other special guests in this fight too coming. But again, I'm rooting for Cody Rhodes. He's the hero of this right now. It's unfortunate, if I'm living in the WWE universe, to see John Cena as a bad guy. But I think it's kind of cool as well to see him as a bad guy. And I think he's gonna turn again. I don't think he'll stay like this, and maybe he turns on The Rock during WrestleMania. That may be a prediction of mine. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there as an idea. But it's gonna be a good match, and yeah, I'm rooting for Cody Rhodes. So.
All right. So between the two matches, right, night one, night two, who do you think is gonna win?
Okay, night one, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, or CM Punk. Probably going Punk, just because he's been center of attention, and I think the fans have him, and I'm sure the script is written. They can do whatever they want on the back end. But I'm gonna go with Punk first night. Second night, I'm gonna go Cody Rhodes. Just room for him. So that's what I'm gonna say. I mean, if John Cena wins and takes away Cody Rhodes' title like that, even if it's just a moment and Cody Rhodes gets it back, that would be very interesting. So, what about you?
I'm gonna say usually WWE likes to have the fans go home happy,
Okay.
but I'm gonna say Roman Reigns. He's beaten Lesnar. He's beaten The Undertaker. He's
Mm-hmm.
beaten a whole slew of guys. Triple H,
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan, Edge. So to be beaten by CM Punk would be a major event in my opinion. So I'm gonna say that Reigns is gonna take this one home.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure.
And then night two, honestly, I see that going either way toss up. Um, but heel Cena, he wants to break that record.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
The Rock, he got his soul.
Yeah. Something like that. I don't know.
So like they kind of merged together and
Yeah.
powers, and I don't know. I think John Cena might get this one out.
Yeah. 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 And that's why today Barry doesn't have his WWE belt, if you're wondering, because it's being given away to hey. He's always got to mouth this guy. I can't stop it. I don't know what he's doing, but should be good this WrestleMania. I'm hoping to watch it. We'll see how it goes. So it should be very entertaining. Let's move on to our One in the World segment, where we talk about crazy things, very interesting things that are going on, sports world and beyond. Let me start, if you don't mind, because I did hint at this in the beginning of why the Grizzlies may have been going down the hill from the 3 seed to the 8 seed. Oh my gosh. John Morant, okay? If you don't know, he is an amazing talent, an amazing NBA basketball player. But off the court, he has had some issues, mainly with weapons, guns, bringing them to a club, I believe. And so he had been suspended, got fined, whatever, all that stuff. Now he's doing gun celebrations, either he makes a shot or something like that. Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, is not happy with that. So he's told Ja, like, don't do that. Chill. That's not, we don't want you to be associated with anything like that, because we already warned you several times. Well, he's not doing gun celebrations anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Now he is doing grenade celebrations, okay? I kid you not. He is, I'm not going to do it here. But he's literally, like if you've played Call of Duty or if you've seen a movie about war, he's doing that after he makes a shot or whatever. I don't know. But he's pretty much trying to get all the way around, trying to tippy-toe his way with, being like, I'm going to do what I want and you can't stop me. And, like every time he does something, there's going to be, there's an article or, Adam Silver saying something about it that he's not supposed to be doing. So, yeah, it's just not wise at the end of the day. When you've been told multiple times, suspended, all this stuff, like I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like if it was someone like, I wouldn't say they would do it, but if it was like, for example, like Donovan Mitchell or Shea Gill, a player like that who comes in and they really don't have like a bad reputation in the league, maybe you could see as like, I wouldn't say innocent, but like not harmful. But because we know John Morant's been suspended for like having a weapon and doing that, it kind of feels like he's poking the bear. So, the gesture itself isn't like super explicit in my opinion. Like it definitely can be seen as offensive, but I feel like what he's doing is just poking the bear.
Right, and there are plenty of people in the league who are doing like the a gun like celebration or something. Like Curry has been doing it. So it's just with Ja, it's a specific case because of what he's doing. So it's I don't know what the league does. Like suspend them more. Like they can't. I don't think they can take him out of the league completely because. But obviously, if he did something egregious again, like carry a gun or like that, then obviously they can do something more harsh. But with these celebrations, I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting with Adam Silver what he does. Eric, you have a couple here. One I'm very. Maybe I don't want to say intrigued about, but I know you just go. I don't know. just go.
All right, I'll start with it. So LeBron James just did a collaboration with Barbie, and the dolls they sell for $75. They instantly sold out. Like they're completely like gone. And Mattel put out a statement saying that the LeBron James doll celebrates influential Ken figures who are creating positive change and contributing to a better world. So, initial thoughts.
You see my face? You see my face right now? That's my thought. Ken Bassiter's there. Look, okay. Now I'm gonna give for I'm gonna say this. there are Barbie enthusiasts out there. Okay, my mom went to I don't know a conference or something, and there was another conference there. There was a Barbie conference. Okay, and she would walk by rooms that they would have Barbie figures like in their room, and like the whole room was pink, and it was all like just themed. So there are Barbie enthusiasts there. And I guess for LeBron, hey, good for you. You're getting out there and you're promoting yourself once again, like you need to. Everyone knows your name, even if they don't love basketball. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. It's a little odd to me. It's definitely a one in the world. Um, it, excuse me. You may have shown. Have you shown? Did you show me a picture
I
of
might
like?
send you an image of it.
Yeah,
And
I
I
wish we
think
had that on.
yeah,
I wish we had to show the people.
it's just LeBron in like a suit. I think.
Yeah,
I want to say it's a blue suit, but it's just like he's looking spazzy, looking
yeah.
real fancy.
Yeah, celebrates influential Ken figures who are creating positive change in computing. I don't know. It's a lot there.
Well, the thing is, like in the future, like if you were to have like a daughter and she asked for a Barbie, like would you get her this LeBron James figure?
If it's reasonable price, I bet you it's a lot of money to get LeBron Barbie. So for the right price, maybe because I would. It was for the love of my daughter, but not if it's too much. Like not a lot of money. Uh, and then your album, you got a collaboration album, correct? And I'll show what this album looks like. This cover right here.
Yes.
Here it is. Here it is.
So that is the official Eric album. It looks like it's very straightforward, self-titled, but that's actually 5 years worth of work. So if you look at the upper left bar, it's Eccentric, Ruby, Iconic, and then Classe Mondial. And those are my last four albums. It's a compilation of the best work from those four albums. Our theme song Ocean is, the leading track of that album, and I really see it as an anthology of my younger adult life. After these years gone, 6, 7 years, it's really amazing to put this out and seeing this vision come to life.
Yeah, and the artistry too, with just again your head turning, different colors. It's a pretty sweet album cover as a whole. And again, I've listened to most of your songs. I haven't listened to a few of your newer songs for a new album, but you've done great work and you've paid off here. So hey, I'm gonna give you another celebration button moment there for you. Um, yeah. So last but not least, one more mailbag session here, and we just kind of have a comment to end things off. So this one,
Oh, you
this
didn't want to know about the VMO thing?
Oh yeah, what I saw that. It's a yeah. What is that? What?
Yeah. So the other day I was going through Venmo.
Oh,
And
okay.
I don't want to link your stuff. Like I'm not gonna like drop your ad or anything. But I just had a couple questions.
Oh boy. Okay. Here we go.
So I saw a quote for food.
Yeah.
What was the food?
Oh. Well, I gotta check my Venmo guy. I don't know what my food is. Wait, let me. Do you remember the yeah, the money is, or I don't know. Does it show the money?
It doesn't say the money now.
Yeah, that's.
I want to say it was an exchange with your brother.
Okay.
Like the most recent, I think.
Yeah. Let me just check that real quick.
Because I have a follow up question after.
Sure. Oh, interesting. Okay. Wow. Do I have? Did I just put food? Like, did not put emoji or anything? I just put.
I think it was just food.
Let me see. Look, I'm gonna blast my brother right here. He's always sending me requests for money. Okay, he's always so he request dunks for Dunkin' Donuts. 11. That's ridiculous. Okay, he's my brother. Like he should be paying for me, right? I pay for him. I give him rides. Okay. Gosh. Anyway, I should just decline it right now. What? I should just decline. All right. Let me see. Food. I have one here. I do have food here. This was what date? This was April 11th. April 11th here was last Friday. Oh, yes, perfect. We were out. I actually bought a new car.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw it out there on the lot.
Oh, yeah, it's red.
Yeah, it's red. Yes, it's red. But yeah, we got food afterwards, and it was at a Vietnamese place. I'm pretty sure Vietnamese place. Yeah, in Brockton.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's the question now?
Okay, and it's a completely different order, or different like sending, whatever. But I also saw a little like further back in your history.
Whoa, wait, this guy's going to my whole freaking payment history here.
So I know we had
Crazy.
the Valentine's Day episode like fairly recently,
Sure, yeah.
and I saw you got a request or like you got sent money for pizza from 2 different ladies. So
Why in these the last episode we ended on? Do you have a girlfriend? Or do you have a girlfriend, Isaiah? Are you talking to anyone? And now by two,
yeah,
I got a request.
Yeah,
of
like I saw
pizza?
it was either a day apart or even the same day. But I saw like you got sent money for, or you sent money for pizza. Like it was, I'm
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Well, look. Okay. First of all, I sent technically. I'm assuming this is around. Yeah, this time. Technically, I sent money, or I got money from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women. Okay.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
from 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 5 women that day. I don't think I could. How that could go on. For a pizza, yes. That is the same group I talked about the Super Bowl. My church friends. In our core group of friends, there are only girls. Okay, it's me, Ty, and there's a few other guys, but they're like one's from California, one's from somewhere else. So, but in that pizza session, actually we got flatbread, but pizza session, it was me, Ty, and the rest were women, like 6 to 7 of them. So everyone didn't pay me back. Okay, just kidding. But that is why there were 5 women who.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
Sure, that's a good question, Harry. That's accountability. That's a great question.
Yeah. Most of my Venmo is 99 requests. We do trivia most Thursdays at the 99.
You do. I saw you the other day, and we talked about it a little bit. You didn't get first this time, but you still got podium, right? You got podium.
I want to say third.
I think third. Yeah. So
which for me is like that's pretty solid.
Sure. Yeah. We had when we went together. If you didn't know, I don't think we mentioned this on the show, but we went and we did really good, right? We had a lot of points, 27 out of 30. 20, something like that.
Usually be at first place.
Usually at first place. And I think because I was there, because I went, we didn't get the top. So I haven't gone since. So that's why. All right, let's end it off with a quote here, or a comment from Ryan Scott at Ryan _Scott. He said, "Wow, what a revolutionary take." And I'm curious because Eric, you sent me this. I don't even know what take he's talking about. What take is this person talking about? Do you know?
Yeah, so the other day, one of our reels or one of our TikToks got 1.2 thousand views.
Oh yeah.
And I believe it was my view on the playoffs.
Okay.
Just like giving my analysis on the matches. And I just said like I was surprised about the Warriors being 6. And my other takes were pretty like lukewarm. Like they were pretty like people would agree with, agreeable takes.
Sure.
So I think it was a bit, maybe he's like, oh wow, so revolutionary.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just how it is.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be sarcastic. It could be because he's a Warriors fan, Could be hurt a little bit and stuff. But now they're a 7th seed.
Yeah.
So a little more towards your, not so surprising, right? Because you thought they weren't going to be great.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Shouts to him.
Shouts to him. Please, Ryan, give us more comments on our reels and our episodes. We appreciate everyone. Please comment and like and subscribe as well. Like and subscribe YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to the podcast. So, but that's gonna do it for this episode of the Barely Fence podcast. My name's Isaiah.
My name's Eric.
Thank you guys for watching. We will see y'all soon. Have a good one. Stay safe. Happy Easter. Celebrate Happy Easter to everyone. See y'all soon.
And to all a good WrestleMania.
And to all a Wrestle Good Mania. See you guys.